Here in example number 3 for inscribed angles, notice we have a triangle inside of a circle. Therefore, this is an inscribed triangle. And the unique thing about these is notice that one side of the triangle runs through the center of the circle and goes from the circumference to the other side of it. Now, when you see this happen, that means that this is a diameter. And so I'm going to write that in real quick just as a note. So I'm going to write right here, this represents a diameter because it goes all the way across. Now, anytime you have a diameter forming one side of your triangle that's an inscribed triangle, that is always going to create a right triangle. Therefore, this angle over here is 90 degrees. And that's important because knowing this is 90 degrees means that you can add these two angles together plus the 90-degree angle, and they should equal 180 degrees. So let's label this real quick. We can call this A, and we'll call this one C, we'll call this B. And so what I can say is that angle ABC is equal to 90 degrees because this side of the triangle is a diameter. Now, it's also going to be the hypotenuse, right? Because the hypotenuse is directly across from the right angle. In this situation, these other two angles must be equal to 90 degrees because this is a 90-degree angle right here, and in any triangle you have 180 degrees. So this 90-degree angle plus this angle plus this angle is going to be equal to 180. So therefore I'm going to just write this out. So BAC, angle BAC plus angle BCA to 90 degrees. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and create an equation out of this. And so what I'm going to say is I'm going to say that angle BAC plus angle BCA plus angle ABC is all equal to 180 degrees. Now we know what angle ABC is, right? So ABC is going to be 90 degrees. So we can just substitute that value in. Now the other two, we know what they are as well, right? They're an expression. So even though we don't know the actual value of the angle, we can go ahead and write the expression that's been given. So for instance, BAC is this angle right here, and it's 2x plus 20. And then I'm going to add that to angle BCA. So BCA, and BCA is x plus 10. Plus angle ABC, which was 90, is equal to 180 degrees. So at this point, we just got to combine like terms. And once we combine like terms, we can then isolate the variable. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to box it. This is a 2x, and this is just a single x. So I'm going to put those together. 2x's plus 1x leaves me with 3x's. And then I'm going to go ahead and circle this positive 20, positive 10, and positive 90. And we're going to put all three of those angles together, or all three of these values, I should say. We're going to add them up and put them all together. So we have 90 plus 10 plus 20. So 90 plus 10 plus 20. And that gives me 120. So plus 120 degrees. And that's all going to be equal to the total measure of any triangle, which is 180 degrees. In other words, if we add up all three angles, they should equal 180. So I'm now going to subtract 120 from both sides. Those cancel. I'm going to bring down my 3x. And I'm going to bring down the answer to this, which is 60. Now I need to go ahead and divide by my coefficient, right? The number that's in front of x is the coefficient. I'm going to divide by it on both sides to get rid of it. On the left, 3 are going to 3 one time. that simply just leaves me with x is equal to, and 3 are going to 60 20 times. So what we've done is we figured out that x is 20. And that's one of the things that we have to do when we're solving these. A lot of times it's going to say find x. So I'm going to write that right here, find x. And so we know that x is equal to 20, so we'll just write that down. Now, we're also going to go ahead and find the angles. Now, it doesn't always ask for this on all the problems that you do, but I've seen a few where they're asking you to find the angle as well. So if we wanted to find the measure of angle BAC, so BAC, I would have to go ahead and substitute this value of x, which is 20, into that expression. So it's equal to 2x plus 20. And we're going to substitute for x, we're going to put a 20 in there. So in place of x, I'm going to put 20, because we found x is equal to 20. So what you really have here is you have 2 times 20 plus 20. And if I were to go ahead and put that in my calculator, 2 parentheses 20 plus 20 gives me 60. So that is 60 degrees. So we can go ahead and we can say that the measure of angle BAC is equal to 60 degrees. And now let's go ahead and let's find the other one, right? So we found BAC, so we know that this angle right here, I'm just going to go ahead and write it in, is 60 degrees. So now we're going to find this angle up here. Now we could go ahead and substitute this one as well at the top, but since we know this is 60 and this is 90, we could simply just add those two together, subtract it from 180, and it'll tell us what this angle is up on top. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do it by hand. So I'm going to do it similar to I did the other one. So I'm going to write right here, angle BCA. So now we're talking about this angle right here is equal to x plus 10. Now we know that we solved for x and x was 20. So I'm going to replace x with a 20 in parentheses. And then I'm going to simply write the plus 10 after it. So therefore, angle BCA is equal to 20 plus 10, which is 30 degrees. And now if I take all my answers, right, we know that this one's 90, this one's 60, so that gives us 150. And then we take this one that's 30, that would give us 180. So this is how you can find a single angle, or you can just solve for x, depending on what the question is asking, when you have an inscribed triangle.